So this time, let's dive right into a review of another expressive Italian giant and a continuation of the storyline of watchmaking in Florence. Quickly, who is Visconti anyway? Visconti is the new home of the Italian watch team behind Anonimo Firenze, which became Anonimo SA and moved to Switzerland in 2013, which was itself made up by a large proportion of Panerai watchmakers when Panerai became part of the Richemont Group and left themselves Florence in 1997. So the saga continues, and I'm happy to see that they also sport a unique style, and I think that the Anonimo Firenze DNA is still visible. Not all of their models are a hit in my opinion, and they are definitely something for an acquired taste again, just as it was with the Anonimo Firenze lineup. Most of them are divers, and they're all quite chunky, expressive and colorful. My favorites beside my own Grand Cruise here would be the Mallorca Green Bronze or the Aviator SM79 Chrono, the latter being one of the few aviation-themed watches in their lineup. But let's talk about the Visconti Grand Cruise Final Edition right here in particular. Let's talk about the case and strap first. If you ever wanted to just answer the question, which material do you want as a watch case with a very solid yes, then this piece is for you. This is a 3-piece case and it combines a stainless steel case back with the aluminium bronze main case and an additional aluminium bronze bezel which is PVD coated in black and has an engraved compass rose on it. There are 5 little screws on the front that hold the bezel in place, and there are also other bits and parts of stainless steel everywhere else, like the aforementioned screws, but also the partially coated, black coated crown, and all of those parts are bringing in a lot of color already. The whole construction is quite massive, with the watch coming in at 47 millimeters in diameter without the crown. I've read 45 millimeters online, but I couldn't find a way to measure it at less than 47 millimeters in diameter. Only the bezel alone maybe comes in at 45 millimeters. It has a lug-to-lug of 58 millimeters and a height of 17 millimeters. But I think the watch could be a little bit thinner or measured more thinly at around 15 millimeters if you would measure it smack in the middle, because the case bag has a raised rim around it. It is also one of the heaviest watches that I own, coming in at 177 grams, but that at least includes the strap and the clasp. So as you can see, the crown itself is quite gigantic, adding 9 millimeters to the total diameter if you measure across it, and it features a bayonet screw-down mechanism. The whole design of the crown is probably something that would put off a lot of you, but as you know, I love it if an already eccentric piece just goes all out. The crown is coarsely serrated and therefore provides excellent grip and operability, also because it just protrudes the case that much. On the 9 o'clock side of the case, the model name together with the limited edition is engraved, and as you can see I have one of the first 10 models of this edition. We have a flat sapphire on top and also a flat sapphire as a display caseback window, but more on that later. The lugs are curved towards your wrist and milled or hollowed out with 24 millimeters total lug width. And as the official description goes, the lugs are a reminiscence of the Ponte Vecchio, a famous bridge in Florence. I like to mention that the lugs are secured by a screw and the head of it even has the same logo pattern as the main crown on the top, which is just a lovely detail. The brown leather strap itself is quite interesting as well. It has a coarse structure and starts with a blue stitching here at the lugs, which transition into white for the rest of the strap. And it tapers down to 22 millimeters here at the clasp, which hides underneath the Visconti logo and is secured by 2 pushers. And underneath we have a double folding clasp with push buttons. A system which I like for leather straps, since you have all the nice amenities of a folding clasp, but also the possibility to adapt it to any wrist size without any tools, just like with the normal pin buckle system. At this point I must reveal that this watch is also available on a full bronze bracelet, something unfortunately I shied away from, but I'm still tempted to get the bracelet, and I had to find out that it's just not possible to get that one standalone afterwards anymore, so choose wisely if you're interested. Other than that, there was also a stainless steel version of this watch and a normal bronze version without the PVD coating around the bezel. These normal versions were limited to 299 pieces each, while this final edition right here is limited to 69 pieces. But I wouldn't put too much weight into that limited aspect personally. The whole watch is 200 meters water resistant, and I think from the whole design it certainly fits the name Grand Cruise, as you can definitely see a giant cruise liner with bronze detail in front of you. Let's take a plunge into this dial. Continuing the maritime theme, we have a two-tone blue dial with a deep blue wave pattern on the lower half and a kind of grayish blue on the top. And the boundary between both is shaped like a horizon across the two horizontal bars at the 3 and 9 indicators. The 2, 4, 8 and 10 are in Arabic numerals, and the 7 is replaced by the Visconti V logo. I think this would have been more fitting as a replacement for the 5 as a Roman numeral, but the space of 5, as you can see, is taken by the GMT function. The 12 is represented by a bright orange Roman 12, and that orange is also continuously used as a color accent on some of the minute markers and also the hands. Speaking about the minutes, the minute rail is raised against the dial quite a lot, adding a lot of depth to the C of a dial, and the hands are very much skeletonized, as you can see. The hour hand is orange, while the minutes hand is white. The tip of the hands and the hour indexes, aside from the large Roman 12, carry lume, but I have to mention that since only the tip of the main hands is lumed, it's quite difficult to distinguish the hours from the minutes at night. Now that I saw the watch up close for this video, the hour and minute hand lume is different in color, but that was never apparent to me and doesn't help a lot with the legibility at night. Let's talk about the GMT complication at 5 o'clock. How about some more color? The frame of it is rose gold plated, and the color scheme of the GMT hands is a little bit confusing because it is reversed in comparison with the main hands. On the GMT complication, the hour hand is in white and the minutes hand is in orange. And as you can see, the shape is a little bit different. The hour hands is a little bit fatter than the minutes hand, but it doesn't help a lot in terms of legibility on first glance. Style over functionality, I guess. The second time zone can be set in an unusual way as well. If you turn the time counterclockwise on the second position of the crown, the GMT hand will eventually not follow and stay in place, while your normal hour would continue to be turned backwards in time. Therefore, you first set your difference between the two time zones and then adjust both times by setting it clockwise. That's a bit of a head scratcher the first time around. The watch proudly shows off that it's made in Florence right here on the complication itself. And on the left hand side of it, you have a small window here, which reveals a day-night indicator that will continuously turn from black to white at noon and vice versa at midnight. That window showing a white color gives you that extra peace of mind when you want to avoid to quick set your date around midnight, for example. Up until now, I rigorously neglected the final complication, the big date up here at 11 o'clock. With another nice rose gold plated frame around it. If you remember, I raved on and on about how I love the instantaneous date change of the Navitimer B01 in-house movement in another video, only to remember that this one has that right here as well. But enough with the gorgeous dial, let's talk about the case back. A beautiful view through the sapphire and into the movement awaits. Again with quite a bit of depth to it, since there is the raised rim around the caseback. The caseback is screwed down with 4 prominent screws, and the movement inside is a VI-AC264-04, which beats at 28,800 amplitudes per hour or 4 Hz, has 42 hours of power reserve and sits on 25 joules. And as only a bit of research into the Visconti name for the movement reveals, it's probably based on the Sopot C120. The functionality and positioning of the second time zone, the day-night indicator, would certainly fit, and since this is a spiritual successor to my other Sopot-powered Anonimo Forenses, the choice seems just likely. The prices are wild online, ranging from above 5,000 euros on a British watch retailer site to 3,000 to 5,000 euros as an evaluation by the experts of the auctions website katawiki.com, where a lot of Visconti watches are available. And I think the latter range is quite reasonable for the offered watch package. Since the watch designs are an acquired taste, there are bargains to be made, I think. My last bronze watch, the Anonimo Firenze Argonauta, wasn't as popular as I hoped. So I'm not too sure if the Italian watchmakers just do not draw as much attention as I think they deserve, or if my video was just not that good. Anyway, I hope my video making skills have evolved since then and you enjoyed this look at another very unique and expressive watch design. Thank you for watching the Time Channel and see you in the next one.